You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me.
And you guys know I like to give you guys my introduction always on mute. That's how we train now. I'm your hostess. Thank you for joining me. Today, I am sharing with you guys a wonderful experience. I'm bringing Joseph on. If this is your first time watching Divine Encounters, know that this is about shifting our perspective, expanding our awareness, and recognizing the support that is all around us that is unseen. And so today's episode is no different. Thank you, Robert, for letting me know there was no audio. I caught that. Thank you. And thank you so much for being here. Okay, and make sure that you guys bring your high quality H2O to the feed, because while we are doing this experience, which is not passive, we're going to be inviting you to play full out. This way, but that by the end of the show, you have elevated your own energy at least by 1 point. Make sure you have your water. It's going to help the electricity move through you, and you might feel and experience things that you've never felt or experienced before just by participating fully in this feed. Of course, we're going to have the good news, which is a message theme for the week. We're going to have an awareness question so that way you can tap in and learn about yourself today, as well as an energy clearing so that you can shift your energy and prepare yourself for the rest of the week. But first, to your health, wealth, and prosperity. That high quality H2O. And of course, now with the new years, I just want to point out I'm writing all of my brand new intentions with my intention pen, because this amplifies my intentions. So make sure you go get your own intention pen at intentionpen.com. Yes. And so you know, every single time you share this feed, you automatically enter to win a personal reading from me. On Sunday nights, I pick a winner every single week, and I would love to have you and see what the angels have in store for you. And if you feel like you want to work with me, feel free to check me out at facebook.com, The Oracle of Apollo. Yay! Weekly Dose of Dano in the house. Spent my day with my soul brother today, making some awesome content with him. So make sure you guys check him out tomorrow on E360 TV. Weekly Dose of Dano. We went on the street today. It was amazing. Fire, just fire. You guys got to go definitely check that out. All right, so let's bring on my guest today, Joseph Federico. I hope he likes my new countdown. Yay! You're here.
I am here. How are you?
I am well. We put you behind the red velvet ropes because you are a VIP here today, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm honored.
I think Joseph is the person who has been on the show the most times because he has amazing, fascinating stories, and we're always so very happy when he's here. So I'm going to let him introduce himself, although for some of you, he is already a familiar face. But Joseph, introduce yourself and just let us know a little bit about who you are.
Sure. So thank you so much, Oracle. I am Joseph Federico, your marketing maven, and I'm a published author as well as, again, a marketing maven working in the world of social media, PR, and digital marketing. So hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on again. And I guess I'm excited to be here on season 3.
Season 3. I'm happy to have you here. And so you can check out all the little differences and upgrades that we made. But there's one thing that hasn't changed. And that is I like to start each episode with a positive theme for the day. So to that I say, what's good? All right, ladies and gents. Basically, this is a theme for the rest of the week, and Joseph's going to give us his thoughts when he comes back on. So the card for today is actually the 7 of Inspiration, and the blessing in the back is Angel Sarah, who is the empowerment angel, and she's blessing the collective with ease. So make sure you're claiming your blessing there in the comment section below. Okay, the 7 of Inspiration. Here is the key words. I'm going to feed this to you guys first. Interesting. This is like in alignment with our conversation earlier. Defending your position, being attacked, protecting your inner light, outer people's negative opinions or scarcity mindsets, internal versus external validation, energetic shields, and paying attention to your energy. Ooh, this is a powerful one. Okay, let's see what the message actually is. Obligatory bravado. After feeling the sunlight of goals met and successes tasted, the 7 of Inspiration finds herself with clouded perception and heavy heart. Those around her have attacked her wins, her path, and her position. She simply doesn't understand her unique glow and disagree with her, so they try to push her down. So some covet her accomplishments or dislike them. Some have mindsets about success that confuse their own fragile feelings about what they don't have with how they feel about her. She wavers, feeling it all, taking it in, and as she does, her fire begins to dim. It sputters as she allows the external jabber to enter her core. Then she remembers that rising up can sometimes mean others will not agree. She breathes in. She settles once more. She fills her heart with joy. Do not be dimmed. You deserve this success. It's time to defend your spark and reach out in love, pushing all external darkness away. Here is the little poem that it comes with. Defend, I am. Here, I am. Strong, and I have made it. Take, you can't. And break, I shan't. No closing in will shade it. Ooh, I got goosebumps. Ooh, Joseph, what do you think this message is about? How would you interpret this?
You know what? That's a great question, Oracle. I would say that especially with a new year, I'm not one really for making resolutions as I'm getting older and, becoming more mature. But I would say that the strength line really stood out for me, and I'm claiming it, as one of the guests just had said. I am protecting my own strength, my own, thought of being proud of myself, how far I've come personally. And I think really just claiming it in the new year and becoming a more evolved version of yourself.
That is very important, to become a more evolved version of ourselves. And, I feel like when people don't understand our purpose for our lives, because Spirit tells us what we need to do, where we need to go, how we need to do it. And nobody else really needs to understand that special purpose of ours, because that's for us. We were spoken into our spirits. So I feel like when people don't really understand it deeply, they try to impose their own beliefs and their own advice. And really, it doesn't actually create anything good. It creates problems, and it makes us feel small because someone else is imposing their purpose, their reality into our world without us wanting or needing. You know what I mean? Wanting or needing it. What is that word? Unsolicited advice. That is the
100%.
word.
100%. And I've dealt with that in the past in my professional life, and I'm reclaiming myself this new year as well.
Yes, I agree. And I have also dealt with that in my personal and professional life. And it's very important to make sure that people in our lives are there for a reason, because you're giving them the permission to witness your life. So therefore, They should be the cheerleaders of your life and not the imposers or destroyers out of lack or judgment.
100. 100.
Love it. Love this. What do you guys think about this card? What is highlighted for you in its message? Put it in the comment section below because I would love to know. Now let's take this card off of there. Fantastic. All righty. And now we're going to jump into an energy clearing before we get into Joseph's story. This way everybody can feel calm, relax, involved, take it in because it's going to be wonderful and spicy and juicy. This is why we bring Joseph back because he's kind of like Popeyes. He brings all the good stuff in there. No, wait, Louisiana Fast.
Yeah.
That's what that made me think of. Okay, so from 1 to 10, Joseph and the you seekers at home, hashtag seekers at home, let me know where are you at energetically in this moment from 1 to 10. Put it, ooh, a lot of energy just came in, bruh. From 1 to 10, where are you? 1 being this is the least amount of energy, 10 being this is the most amount of energy, and I just got so high. So put that in the comment section below now. Okay, Joseph, where are you at energetically in this moment?
I would say about a 6 right now.
That's good. That's
6.
right above the half.
Yeah, a little boost before I came on. Again, we were having some technical difficulties before coming on the show tonight. So I think there's a lot of energy around me, but it's not quite through me just yet.
And if you guys are having technical difficulties, guess who's back? Mercury retrograde is back on Friday. Welcome back. Oh, love it. Robert says inspiration is the word that came through. Is those who inspire me, some from way back that I decided to serve from the comments, and it's a blast and a half. Wonderful. And Robert is at a 9. I feel like I'm also at a 9 today. I feel really, really good and in alignment. So let's go ahead and call in the team. You're going to hear a bell. That is the bell to close your eyes, settle yourself into your center, and then we're going to start the clock. So here we go. All righty, 60 seconds on the clock now. Eyes closed, breathing in. And I would love for everyone to call in all of their power from any point in time, all places of direction, and just call back your power. I call back all my power from anyone holding it, from any situation holding it, from any point in time holding it. I reclaim all of my power now. I cut all ties with anything and anyone that would challenge or try to misuse or take my power from me. Anyone who attempts to make me small, belittle me, or make me feel like a victim. I no longer vibrate with these words, and I reclaim myself fully in this moment. And just breathe in that beautiful understanding, that beautiful programming that you're placing into your spirit, and a nice big exhale. And let it all go. Let the stories go. Let it drop from the shoulders. And we're going to bring our left and our right palm to touch one another in front of our heart space. And I bow to you all. Namaste. And then when you are ready, you can open your eyes and rejoin the program. And I will tell you what I'm feeling right now. My eyes are absolutely closed for a reason. There's a lot of energy coming in. I feel, when I say that, I mean like there's like a physical pressure I can feel on my outside of my body, as if there was like a fire hose on, and I could feel it in my eyes, kind of like cascading down. And I'm up to a 9.6, but I feel myself rising. And I also feel a little bit of discomfort leaving my temples, which is pretty, that's pretty typical for me. Pressure leaving my temples and my forehead, but I feel good. I'm up 0.6 points. How about you, Joseph?
I'm at about a 9.
Hmm.
I think I was a little flustered, and I had to recenter and reclaim my energy and bring it back to myself. I'm at about a 9 right now.
That was a big jump.
6 to 9, baby.
I'm just going to skip right over the joke. Oh, we'll leave it at that. From 6 to 9. I'll take it. All right. I love it. Okay. Thank you so much for that. Let me know in the comment section below. Did you feel anything? You could replay this at any time and receive this energy, because energy knows no bounds, no distance, no time, and no space. Did you feel anything? Colors, pressure, release, anything? Let me know what you felt in the body. And where are you at energetically in this moment from 1 to 10 now? Robert is catching my joke with the face. And Weekly Dose of Dano, he's just putting the cry face emoji up. We try to keep it PG here. All right. So you have an amazing story to tell us, Joseph. So we are going to let you jump right into it, and let us know in the comment section below if you have any questions for Joseph. Otherwise, he's about to introduce his story. Oh, Robert's up to a 10 now. Fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a big leap. He's about to introduce his story, and we're going to learn all about the unseen in New Orleans. Let's go. Dramatic thunderstorm sound for you, friend.
I love
It's
that.
all you now.
So this was my third time going to New Orleans in December 2021, not too long ago. And I went with my friend, manager, and muse, Melinda. That's my travel partner. And on the first full day, beautiful day, you think wintertime in New Orleans, you would think it would be cold. It was very hot. And we're in the Garden District. And we're going from bar to bar, meeting people on the street, really trying to enjoy our first full day. We go to Anne Rice's house in the Garden District. I'm not going to say where. You can find it on Google. And we had noticed that the house was renovated. So this is part 1 of 2 in my story. And it was a beautiful renovation. The paint colors were more vibrant than I had remembered back in 2018. We didn't get to go last year because of COVID and traveling. And we had noticed that the plaque that was on her house last time, and for years before that, that had said that she had lived there at certain times, what inspired her, to write her stories while she was living in the Garden District of New Orleans. The plaque was missing. And we were a little bit upset about that, because she is such a beacon of light, of creativity, of New Orleans, of the vampire community, and again, of the artistic, pulse that it runs throughout New Orleans and beyond. Turns out that when I got home a few days later, I had learned of her passing, unfortunately. And I don't know if Anne was giving me and my friend a sign, if she knew that she was going to be passing on. But it was a little strange being there, first and foremost, not really recognizing the house or where she had lived, or where her amazingly talented and beautiful son, Christopher, lived in New Orleans back in the day. And that was just strange. I can't explain it beyond that. I do feel about a week later, after I got back and learned of her passing, one of my celebrity clients actually was on the phone with me asking how New Orleans went. And I was about to tell him about Anne Rice and being, in New Orleans and my trip, and being inspired for my next novel, my next trilogy that I'll be writing about the 1920s and vampires, ironically enough.
Vampires, like real vampires? Like
Anne Rice type vampires, to bring the story back together, I guess, and bring it, into one ball of energy. So unprompted, on my end, my client had said, I just passed Rice Road on his end. And then I said, oh my gosh, you have to be kidding me. I was just about to tell you about Anne Rice. So I feel that Anne is inspiring me, to speak about vampires, learn more about her history, her son's history, and read more of her literature that she had, written in the past in New Orleans. So that's part 1 of my story. Any questions from the Oracle before I proceed to the next strange encounter?
Yes, my only, because I hear the synchronicity there. So for me, this is like a normal occurrence. Synchronicities, I love it. My question really is, can we go a little bit deeper when you say Anne Rice vampires, is I personally am not actually familiar with Anne Rice. So we go a little bit deeper into what like this vampire topic a little bit?
Sure, sure. So Anne Rice, was known especially for writing The Interview with the Vampire. And
Mm.
then it was a major motion picture in the early 90s with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. And she really reintroduced the vampire, or rewrote the vampire folklore into literature in the early 90s, especially because of the movie that, came out. She wrote The Vampire Lestat. I think she actually rewrote or wrote another version of that with her son Christopher not too long ago, a few years ago. And there's actually going to be a revisited television show that each episode is going to be actually a miniature movie that's coming out soon that they were working on in Hollywood before she passed.
So do you think, since Anne Rice, Angelo is here. Nice. I love Anne Rice. Of course you know about
Yes,
Anne
Angelo.
Rice. Of course he knows about Anne Rice. While you were talking about her, I had to get this blanket because a chill came in here.
I'm telling you, Apollo, I believe in symbols and signs, and I feel like throughout my time in New Orleans, again, part one of my story, she was definitely following us, encouraging visions of what I could be writing for my next series, and really taking her energy. I feel that she's guiding me somehow. Truly.
No, I agree with you. I can actually feel that right now. Like it's almost like I'm getting touched with like a long fingernail right here. Not in a scratch, scary way.
I feel it too, right here.
Yeah. Like a gentle touch but it's definitely a very pointy fingernail. I can feel what it is.
And there's, as you said that, a spirit, you know how this happens on the show with you. This is happening more often. Maybe I have a gift I haven't really explored yet, but a woman just sat down on my couch.
Wow.
So I think I'm being interviewed with the author of Interview with the Vampire.
I think you're being interviewed double time right now. We're 3D and 5D interviews happening on Divine Encounters today.
Not a malicious feeling. It's very calming and loving and mother-like. So I feel that there's something around me over here, if that makes sense.
Yes, and I can feel that too. Oh, ooh, gothically delicious is what Angelo's throwing down there. I can feel that, and I feel like the love energy coming in. So I definitely feel like she's guiding you. That's so interesting.
And that would be fabulous. I'm honored. But it was strange how we had recognized that her plaque was missing, and then she passed away. Maybe that was a sign that she was on her way to one life to the other, the afterlife. I don't know.
I got goosebumps down my whole legs as you said that.
Strange.
No, I think that's probably what it is, because she's missing. She was gone. The plaque was gone, so she was gone.
That's exactly what I thought.
And then she was actually gone. Wow.
That's exactly it. So the second part of the story, we're there in New Orleans. We're living the 1920, lifestyle, and learning about the French Quarter during that time. And now it's Saturday, and we're wearing our masks. It's, Krampusnacht, and we went to a parade, which we led, by the way, which is all these strange things and beautiful things really happened to us in New Orleans. And I really feel blessed to have been there again. So my friend, manager, and muse, again, we were taking pictures in front of Jackson Square, the St. Louis, church that's right in Jackson Square. Unbeknownst to us, after we had seen what I was about to tell you, within a 4-minute time frame, because your phone timestamps your pictures.
Yes.
We're taking pictures by the Christmas tree, and I had showed you these last night, Oracle. We're posing in our masks by the cannon, by the Christmas tree, kind of being silly. Behind us on the cathedral, only in one specific portion of the cathedral, on the top, if you're facing it, the top right, if you're in front of it, the top left, there's a cross. And you saw this cloud of smoke come around the cross. Then you scroll through a few more pictures, again, within a 4-minute time frame. I swear to goodness, you see the entire cross illuminated by smoke and light. Then the smoke just starts to dissipate. And it's in our pictures, and nobody else was really around taking pictures at that time. We crossed Jackson Square, going to the next, actually a vampire bar, ironically enough. So that kind of bridges the two stories. Unplanned, a fire truck comes to Jackson Square thinking that there's a fire, and we didn't really want to stick around to see what was up. We went the next morning on the Times-Picayune, looking for the story about the fire at Jackson Square at the church. Nothing was written about the smoke that came out of essentially nowhere in New Orleans on that Saturday night. That concludes my story for now.
So what do you think was the meaning behind the billowing of smoke that only you and your muse experienced?
I think it was a few different things. I think more positive than negative. I think first and foremost, at the basic level, as a writer, that had headed to New Orleans specifically for inspiration for my next, novel series, my trilogy. It was a plot point. I've had experiences that I've shared on the show in the past, regarding otherworldly spirits, especially smoke spirits that I spoke about last time. I think that was the next, plot point in my stories. And I think it was a divine encounter, ironically enough, that I had to come back and end the year on a positive note and bring forth light, not religion necessarily, because I'm not religious, I'm more spiritual, but that was pretty powerful stuff. Only we had seen this cross illuminate with smoke in our pictures. And I think my messaging or my journey was to come home and share the positivity and light of a new start. Things may have burned down in 2021 in our lives with COVID, without traveling and seeing family. It was before the holidays, a very busy, robust season. And I think truly that was a message to bring home and share with the public for me and my friends.
Wow. And we even look at smoke in other cultures, like let's say indigenous cultures, and we know that smoke can be used as divination. People look at smoke for signals and signs and omens.
Sure.
So when you sent it to me and I saw it behind the church, I was just like, oh, they're talking to him.
And you wouldn't have thought otherwise by looking at the picture if you didn't kind of scroll in and really see where the smoke was coming from.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like whatever your intentions were, whatever your thoughts, your prayers were, it was like they were being sent up and manifested into the next plane, to the 5D. Like it was being sent up through smoke signal.
And it only happened, again, Oracle, within a 4-minute time frame. So it wasn't there all night. There wasn't smoke in the air because you had seen around the church, it was dark and there were stars, for instance, or a starry night. There was smoke that had illuminated this cross above our heads.
Yeah, that is something. Wow. Amazing.
So every time I go to New Orleans, it's either a divine encounter, it's a spiritual encounter for me, it's inspiration for my books, and somebody somewhere, I think, was trying to tell me something.
Well, apparently she's sitting on the couch in front of you.
She's gone now, by the way. She's gone now.
She just wanted to make her presence known.
Exactly.
She's like the director. Does the camera look good? Okay, you guys roll it and send it back to me later for post editing. Do you think that you're going to continuously go back to New Orleans? And also, do you think if you have a past life there?
So the first answer to your question, I am planning on going with my friend, manager, and muse for our, I'm not going to say how old I am, but for a large birthday in 2023. And she is a year younger than I am. So we're planning to have some kind of garden party-esque dash, a private birthday for the two of us next year. So yes, And I think I had a past life. I feel very at home in New Orleans. The smell of the street and, um, being at the House of Voodoo, in the shops and in the smoke shops and shopping and just being on the riverboat on the river and um, even reading my book at the hotel in the garden districts and so forth and so on. I felt right at home, and I felt I have
Mm.
a connection. I feel that I have a connection. Probably in the 20s, if I'm writing about the 20s, I feel really inspired, and we had lived a roaring lifestyle for the week in December. I think that there's a connection there. Absolutely.
Wow, there's a lot of energy coming back in again. Woof. It's like it's hard to you guys don't understand how hard it is to sit in this chair and ask questions when you're getting pummeled with like what's that called? Bourbon, air bourbon. Like
And
you feel
there's,
high.
I had just
Yeah.
said that about the 20s. Um, a few gentlemen just walked in as well, that are behind my chair in my living room, and they
Oh,
are dressed in 20s garb, but I can't see their faces, but they're not good, but they're not bad, if that makes sense.
yeah, neutral.
Yeah,
Yeah, I understand. I felt them come in. It's like every time I'm feeling something, somebody's in your house. You're having a party over there. Didn't
yeah,
invite
yeah,
with no invitations, but everybody came.
yeah.
That is so funny. So when you go to New Orleans, can you it's an interesting way I want to phrase this. It's almost like I want to ask if you can taste the energy there. I don't know why I want to ask that, but when you
Yes,
go, yes, you can.
yes.
So that does mean something to you.
Point blank, the energy shifts the moment you land at the airport. And when you drive from the airport, about a half hour or so, to the French Quarter specifically, which is actually more Spanish than French, because at one point the entire French Quarter, which was French at the time, had burned down, and there are only a few surviving buildings that are actually in the French style of architecture. The French Quarter is actually more Spanish than French as well. So you feel the crossroads, you feel this abundance of a very different kind of energy.
May says, I'm feeling it here too. I'm hella vibing. Angelo says, this is awesome. I think they find the conversation interesting.
I hope so. I hope so.
I think anyone talks about us, we want to be there. So they're like, yeah, talk about me. I'm right here. So what advice would you give anybody who's curious about New Orleans? Is there any specific places you feel like is more spiritually enhanced or, more saturated with energy? Is there like a you have to see this place if you go here place?
I'm going to answer short form first. Yes and no. There are places you should see and stay away from.
Ooh, what are the places we should stay away from?
Definitely Bourbon Street, which is just a tourist trap. But the
Oh,
energy there is a melting pot. So I would recommend going there once and once only, and then get out of Bourbon Street because it's a tourist trap. But I would say Royal Street, Magazine Street, definitely Frenchman Street is where more of the locals stay, where the burlesque shows are, where the cheaper drinks are, where the better jazz bands play. That's more of a localized experience. And then hit the Garden District. The energy is very different in the Garden District. A lot calmer, but a lot more historically charged, I guess, if you will.
Besides the people you brought with you this time home, do you feel like you bring people back with you?
I do not. I feel I try to bring even more so than I'm going more and more. No, more frequently going forward. I feel like I'm trying to bring back more of the essence within my own soul and mind, and more of the experience and the memories. I don't need things anymore. I don't need tchotchkes. I don't need to. I feel more of a local each time that I come back, and
Mm.
I bring more of the energy back, I think, than anything else.
Wonderful. May says, I would be too scared because of the different energies. What would you say to that?
Definitely not scary. You have to let it in, let it out, and leave it at the door. Another spiritualist, actually, which I did not do, but I did bring, I guess mentally I prepared for it. They had told me to exchange cemetery dirt from New Jersey with New Orleans when I came back.
Huh.
And I actually wound up doing burning a cleansing candle before and after coming home, in lieu of bringing home dirt, because the rules of flying with COVID are different than they were. You can't, and I always get stopped, ironically enough, at the airport, at TSA. Thank you, TSA. But I did a cleansing candle instead to clear anything that I may have brought home with me.
That makes a lot of sense. I am so high. I can't even give you questions right now. Do you guys have questions for Joseph? Because I am literally mad shifting. May says she just saw sparkles before her eyes. So
I believe that.
You are like an antenna today. You're just dishing it out.
I am so giddy and excited to speak about this. So
that's why you're just giving it. I'm
bring
shifting
the questions on
and doing shamanism. Robert says, Joseph, I hope this anniversary of your birth has delivered you an abundance of joy, laughter, peace, tranquility, happiness, purpose, and finishes off with the feeling of fulfillment and happy birthday.
That was amazing. Thank you.
That was very kind. So let Joseph know if you guys have any. Angela says, I feel high on caffeine. I'm telling you, there is something energetically happening to everybody tonight. I never need a blanket. I'm sweating. I'm sure if I took this blanket off, I would be covered in sweat, but I'm also freezing at the same exact time. I am. So when we think about this New Orleans, I've only ever been there one time, right? And so we're talking about all of this energy. It has so much. I want to go back to these vampires. Can you tell people at home, what do vampires do? Because all I can think of is the movie Vampires. But historically, I guess, or modernly, what is the purpose of the vampire? Why is it popular still now?
It is, in reading about them all my life and reading, Bram Stoker, Anne Rice, watching vampire movies, being, of course, a horror buff and writing about these things throughout my life, especially in my adult life, I would say, I think it's really just the intrigue and the continuation of life. And there's so much life to be lived in New Orleans, and there always has been, historically. So I think the intrigue is always there. I think, beyond Hollywood, it's really, I think, just what's beyond post-death, and can we live forever? That's the human condition. I think there's that intrigue there that keeps on bringing vampires back to the forefront. And they're coming back again, thanks to Anne Rice. There's a series coming out about vampires, again, because of Anne Rice and her family.
Wow. What a legacy to leave
So there's
behind.
definitely many connections there to New Orleans and Anne Rice, but I'm trying as best as I can to pay homage to Anne Rice, because she was just an absolute genius and a superwoman. And I can't do it justice enough, if that makes sense. So
you know what? I just got a message, and she's definitely one of your spirit guides now. I'm clearing. Oof. She's definitely one of your spirit guides now. You're her first charge. So you are officially Anne Rice's first charge. That's nice.
I'm only too honored. I'm blushing if you can't see my face through my camera makeup.
And she's gonna definitely help you write this next book. I can literally see her with the book open and writing. She's gonna help you write this next book. You're gonna physically feel hand on your hand. That's that's the energy that I'm getting for this. And Angelo says he feels like I am in a party room buzzing with conversation, and the tea, is that the tea? The tea is getting spilled.
Yes. Yeah. So and I'm fully committed to writing these other books, and hopefully again, having her guide me going forward.
Oh, definitely is. And Angela says that is awesome, and he's jealous, as you should be. No, I'm kidding. Joseph, let people know at home if they want to work with you, where they can get a hold of you.
Sure. So you may call me at 973-289-3517. Follow me, The Marketing Maven, or Your Marketing Maven on Instagram.
One more time, because of course you were starting to break up as you were saying your numbers.
Of course. 973-289-3517. Instagram, Joseph A. Federico, A like Apple, last name Federico. Perfect. And I am offering many reels and deals regarding marketing and social media services. Your first month will be 99 cents if you sign on for a year contract and working with me, with your persona, coaching, so forth and so on. And I'm also selling Voodoo Juice, which started it all back in 2014, actually, published 2017. I connected with a lot of people last time that were interested in the book. It is currently on sale for Mardi Gras. Happy Carnival, everybody, for $15.97, $2.97 extra. I will record myself on video, signing your book personally and mailing it to you at no cost. So I'm doing a lot. I'm really proud of what I'm doing and connecting with a lot more people.
Well, I'm proud of what you're doing too, and good job. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Keep it up for sure. And thank you for sharing that story time with us. It's kind of bittersweet because I'm actually kind of happy that you're done talking about it, because I don't think I could take anymore. I'm so high. I don't think I can have another shot of anything right now. I'm just like, whoa.
You and me both.
Yeah. And I know everybody, you're welcome, everybody at home. You see, we think about you. Yeah, you're welcome for all of that extra air, bourbon, whatever you want to call it, straight from here to there. Wow. Okay, so let's go ahead. We have a question of the day for you, Joseph, and for everybody at home. This is a new segment, of course. Oh, I got to open my eyes. New segment. It is called a question of the day. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. This part is for you guys to play out fully so you can learn about yourselves. This is interactive, so that way you can expand and grow in all facets by the end of the feed, okay? Entertaining and educational and powerful and empowering all at the same time. Okay, so here is the question of the day. Okay, Joseph, I know that card looks crazy, but it says, what kinds of routines or habits limit my experience of everyday life? And that is for everybody. What kinds of routines or habits limit my experience of everyday life? Let me know in the comment section below. I know this is a hard question, and they're meant to be hard, so that way you can think about it. Let me know in the comment section below what you're feeling about this, and Joseph gets to answer first.
I would say I'm very type A and I'm a planner. But as I'm learning and growing and evolving, I would say that can limit you and your experience daily, especially as we're home, still in the midst of a pandemic. We're creative beings. Allow the creativity to flow regardless of what's on your to-do list. You will come out stronger and more evolved for it.
Yeah, so true.
That's my final answer.
That's a ding, 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 ding. Final answer. For me, there's some things that I noticed that I used to do that I don't do anymore because I'm being very conscious and mindful of it. But I remember, like, when the computer would slow down, I'd make noises. Hurry up, speed up. It was like all these noises that you don't even know you're making. Like, you're sitting in the car, someone cuts you off, you're making noises. You're waiting in line, you're making noises. And these noises are like the sounds of frustration. You're making external sounds of frustration. So I recognize these external sounds of frustration were creating more frustration in my world.
Sure.
So now I'm very mindful of that. And when I hear other people make their frustration sounds, I'm like, hey, it's okay. We don't have to rush. There's nothing to rush. We're going to get there exactly when we get there. But that used to limit me a lot. And I feel like now that I've been mindful of that, that it's okay. Like everything takes 10 extra seconds, that it's okay. Because I'm an Aquarius. So for me, everything, my mind thinks very fast. I'm like a very fast thinker. And I can dissect something and look at it 15 different ways in the matter of a moment because that's how my mind works. So for me, it's just to slow down and it's just okay. There's no need to get frustrated at all over anything. And that has brought me to a more joyful place where now when people are around me, they go, do you just laugh all the time? I kind of feel like, what's his name? Is his name Jimmy Fallon, that he's just like always laughing?
Yes.
I kind of feel like him now, especially this
same
last
way.
year.
I'm trying to be, take a page out of your playbook, Oracle, because, of course, trying to heal, past traumas, trying to get rid of all the old that doesn't serve the new as the energy is shifting in, in a new year, both personal, for me and professional, life or lives. And I'm trying to be more, I guess, conscientious of my reaction to things. Is it serving me in the moment? Not so much. Am I trying to think going forward of the other person's maybe situation that may have cut me off, that may have not signed a contract? Yes, I am. Maybe their circumstances are too dire for them to even deal with, or what have you. And I'll never know. But I am trying to be more mindful going forward about my reaction to those things.
Absolutely. Because it creates a cadence for your day and it creates a cadence for your life.
Of course it does. Sure.
Yeah. All these little things add up. Okay, so let's see what we have here in the comment section. The computer sputtering may unleash the angry voice. Robert, where's the invite to join the tea party? Robert says, we grew up being screamed at, so I am quiet now. Interesting. The screaming at me while we were growing up didn't make me quiet. It made me grunt and make sounds so that the other people could recognize my frustration. And I know that that was a programming to show that I'm trying. Let me show you externally my frustration so that I'm trying, like when your parents or whoever would scream at you. Thank you so very much. And I would like to be delighted if you could join me at my next tea party. Okay, we have some side conversation happening here, but that's fantastic. Yeah, we're all there. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead now into the midweek collective energy check-in. We're going to see, because we opened with a humdinger of a message. So I'm actually very excited to see what is it going to be for the messages for the collective today. So let's jump into this. Joseph, I'm going to put you back in the green room for just a second. I'm just getting my little paper tarot spread out here. I'm going to put you in the green room, and then you can come back and let us know what your thoughts were on the message for the collective. And you know how this goes. It's for everybody, but it's for you too.
I got it.
All right, so let's do it. Okay, so the very first card that we actually have here is the 10 of Fire. Too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance and stress-related health concerns happening here. And we were just talking about those things that shift us into a negative habit, old habits that limited us. So it's interesting that we're being shown here a habit that could limit us. And that habit is being overworked, because we think if we push a little longer, if we stay up a little later, what we're actually doing is depleting our life force energy. And honestly, your mind doesn't work so well when you're tired. Okay. So you can't even have a real clear thought when you're tired because you've already exhausted all means. So it's very important to know to honor when you need rest. All right. That is the past. This is how we see ourselves as a collective. Right now, collectively, we are stepping out of our comfort zone here. I like this North Node card. So stepping out of your comfort zone is maybe going, wow, I do need to take a step back and rest a little more, because you know what? That's something I'm not used to doing. Giving myself permission to recreate, giving myself permission to take a step back, to honor my sacred needs. Very important. And this year, 2022, is the year of balance, equal give and take. It is a resonance of the number 6 and also includes the energy of nostalgia. So, all right, let's see what the next card is here. The next card is what we're learning right now as a collective. Right now, as a collective, we are being exposed and revealed. I like this because it's like you're diving into your inner world. You are exposing those limiting beliefs, habits, situations, and people that are around you. And not only that, you're exposing them on how to treat you by creating boundaries and a knowing of who you are and how you want to be treated, as well as exposing why do I, maybe you work too much? Sure. Why do you work so much? What are you using work as in your life? Because sometimes we use work as a distraction or a means to not deal with other facets that are happening in our life. So here I feel like this is saying we are going within. We are really recognizing what is happening within our inner world. And let's see, the next card here is upcoming influences. And here we go. We have sanctuary. This is all about going within. He is in a cave. This is his sacred place, this cave. No one else can come in this cave. When I meditate, I personally have an actual cave that I go to, which is my sanctuary. So this is like an inner place inside yourself that you can retreat to. And he is decorating his cave that you can decorate with the emotions and memories of your life, so you can take a seat back and know what kind of story you're making for the future, because he's ultimately writing his story so others can read it. So what story are you writing? And then we have here the very next card, upcoming influences. Yes, upcoming influences that are coming up. Sacrifice. So for some of us, we're going to have this moment in time where we're going to have to let something go. And when we see the word sacrifice, we get all scared. But sacrifice means I'm letting something go that has outserved its usefulness, that no longer serves me. It's a wall that I've built up around me, maybe even for protection, but that which we resist persists. But this is saying we're letting something go here so that something even better can take its place. The number 7 being the number of Apollo, perfection, and faith. And our final outcome card for this is the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands says, I have been through it. I've climbed to the top of the mountain. You can't really tell, but there's little tiny ships in the water beneath here. So he's waiting for his ships to come in, and he's making a choice. Okay. And that choice could have been those 2 other sticks that he had to sacrifice in order to gain the 3rd stick. Maybe those other 2 sticks, maybe they were broken. Maybe the wood was old. Maybe he had them since he was small and he's used them to the point that they are now brittle, but they no longer serve his purpose. Okay. And then finally, we have the angel blessings. And the angel blessings are unity. I love this. This is assistance from awe and divinity, which is like assistance from the higher realms, from the 3D and the 5D. So I hope this serves you today. Please let me know in the comment section below how you're feeling about this. And Joseph, how do you feel about this reading?
I feel it's pertinent to what I'm going through this new year so far. Specifically the cave and writing your own story and looking inwards to proceed outwards. That's what I got out of that card reading for me personally.
Yeah. For me personally, I feel like whoa, echo over here. Is it gone? Yes, it's gone. For me personally, I felt like it was like taking that step back, recognizing, do I need this? I feel like it was kind of like a check. Like, do I need this? Do I have to keep this in my cave? Do I have to bring it into my inner world? Can I just let this go? I feel like this is just a willingness to release. That's how that came up for me. Because,
I love that.
You know, it's like sacrifice is like, oh, I did love this at one point. This was my world at one point, but now it's okay to let it go. And that's kind of like where I'm vibing at right now.
Sure.
May says that she is now shifting. Thank you, May, for sharing. I have a burning in my chest now, too, that I'm shifting my energy. I feel like a literal burning in my heart. That's wonderful. Joseph, do you have any advice or anything you want to drop off to any of the kiddies at home anything inspirational, anything you feel like you wish you knew this time last year, anything going into 22?
I would say something that I share with my clientele, but this is for everybody starting a new year, starting anew, whether you have set a resolution for the new year or not, be transparent with yourself and outward facing with the world, and don't be afraid of who you truly are going to become or what you think you're going to become. Work towards your goals and be as transparent as possible going forward.
Are you speaking to me directly?
I'm speaking to myself as well, Oracle, so possibly.
I feel like you were coming at me directly because I feel like for me this year, I get these intuitive hits about what I should be doing, especially around my birthday time, which is at the end of the month. And they kind of give me my marching orders for the rest of the year. I don't know if anybody else that ever happens to, but it happens for me at least the last 8 years. And I feel like you said, don't be afraid of the new. Don't be afraid of sacrificing what you felt familiar, what was once known to you for that bigger thing that you can't hold in your hand yet. That's what makes it hard, right? We can't hold it in our hand yet. We can't see it yet. It's not tangible yet. So sometimes we hold on so tightly to that past because it's physically there, but we have to release and make space within our hands so that our grip is able to hold on tightly to what is ours and what's upcoming.
And you will attract the right tribe that's meant to be once you become more transparent and let the past go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? When it's done, dead, fill it up, put it in the ground, let it go, let the worms take it, let it be transmuted so that way you can attract the new. We leave the old lingering so long that we don't even want new. We'd rather wear tattered old clothes than let the new in just out of fear.
Correct.
Do you have any guidance to move through fear?
I'm learning to,
Hmm.
and you need to face fear head on. That's the only way evolution and change will occur. And I'm learning that myself. You need to push through a task that scares you, or a conversation that scares you, or maybe even a financial burden that may scare you. Um, push through it. Push through it. There's no sense in hiding behind fear any longer. Any longer. This is not a year to be afraid of things.
I agree. And I feel like for the collective, this is the year of freedom for the collective. I feel like things are really going to very quickly, especially for June, July. I can see like a chart of the year and things are just skyrocketing, momentum skyrocketing. So I feel like for many people, this is a year of opportunity to not just get your life back, but to stabilize a new life. Ooh, for the future. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. That's
Yes.
amazing. Joseph, thank you so much for being here. We love having you, and I
Thank you
love
so much for
having your
having me again.
stories. And I hope to see you soon again. And so thank you. I can't thank you enough for sharing this. I know how much this helps everybody out there. And thank you all so much for being here. Joseph, I'll see you next time. And
See
thank
you
you again.
soon.
Bye. Wow, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the program. Let's go ahead now to my corner with my final thoughts. Do you or someone you know experience something supernatural that has left a positive impact on yourself or the lives of others? Want to share your story on our show? Please email Divine Encounters at e360tv.com. And together, let's create divine experiences. And now, the Oracle's final thoughts con mucho amor.
Everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life is lemons, just hold me. Just hold me.